That's a great question, Sabas. I'm a private dentist, private practitioner. I started working in my own office just a week after I got my license from Temple University. And I have been practicing in the same place for the last 35 years. I always wanted to treat people in healthcare. I wanted to make sure that I was a healer, that I was taking people's health issues. And dentistry became my means of dealing with healthcare because, unbeknownst to me, I actually had an actual affinity for artwork and working with my hands. So it's a combination of art and science that led me into dentistry. And after 35 years of working in my office, I realized that it was a blessing. It was a blessing that I picked this field because not only does it make me happy, it fulfills my needs of taking care of others, but it also satisfies that need to do things that are beautiful. So I combine health with beauty, end up doing dentistry for a population that is hopefully healthier and better looking than the others. Oh, that was not on purpose. That was one of those accidental meetings. A friend of mine said, you know, would you like to come to this meeting? There's a board meeting of the Academy of General Dentistry in New Jersey. And I said, you know, I really am not interested in getting involved in any of this. But one of my friends was a member. So that friend made me come in. And then I realized that there was a need of good leadership. And I said, well, if I'm going to care about my profession, I have to give back. And you give back when you get involved. And what do you give back? Your time, which is the most precious thing that you have, and your talent. Well, the Academy of General Dentistry was actually started by 3 different groups of dentists in different parts of the country. One of them was in New Jersey, the other one was in Chicago, and I believe there was one section in California. This is a group of dentists that were like-minded, and they said, you know, I know how to do the special skills. If I teach you mine, will you teach me yours? And they started interchanging knowledge. Little did they know that it was going to become like a snowball, because everybody wants to have more knowledge and everybody wants to share what they have. Dentistry is very altruistic. People misunderstand this profession because the first thing we want to do is teach somebody what we do well. We do not want to keep it a secret. We want to make sure other people can do it because we see the faces of our patients, how good they feel when we do something that is superior. Who wouldn't want to do that? So we started out by a man named Thaddeus Wecklu, was the one who started in Chicago, and he got in communication with those other groups and formed what is now today the Academy of General Dentistry. I'm telling you, it was nothing more than a club of 10 people in each one of those places. Now we're over 40,000 worldwide. The Academy tracks all your continuing education credits to make sure that you understand where you are in the process of becoming better trained. And we do have ways of measuring that. We have something called the Fellowship of the Academy of General Dentistry that requires you to pass a 5-hour exam in all areas of dentistry, as well as demands that you have 500 credit hours of continuing education of approved courses so that you can become a fellow. A fellow is really quite a challenge. And out of 120,000 general dentists in the US, there are less than 11,000 fellows in the whole country. We also have what we call the master. To become a master of the Academy of General Dentistry, you have to go a step further. You have to prove that not only can you take those courses, but you have to do that work. And you have to take at least 500 participation hours in all areas of general dentistry, meaning perio, oral surgery, prosthodontics, orthodontics, all the areas that we recognize. After that mastership, there is also another level of recognition which the Academy has started in the last 10 years, and that is called the Lifelong Service Recognition Award. That is given to people that have accomplished both fellowship and mastership, but have gone a step further and now they're giving back to their community for giving public service to the community or teaching, we also give them credit. Even if they belong to a club in the local town, we want to make sure that they are recognized for giving back in any way, shape, or form. Well, that's a great question, because for the first time, well, I shouldn't say for the first time, but we have been always representing the people that we treat. And we have, the AGD have had people of all colors and of all ethnic backgrounds and religions for as long as I can remember. But in the last 10, 20 years, it has exploded. We represent every racial group there is in the world. And that is the globalization part that you were referring to. The one thing that we realize is that, you know what, not only do we represent everybody around the world, but we should allow them to be part of us directly from anywhere where they're from. What is happening is that we are getting people from all over the world showing up at our annual meeting because they're looking for the kind of education that we offer. As a matter of fact, we had a young man from one of the previous Russian states in Las Vegas last year. And when we found out that it's the first time he had ever been to the US to come to an AGD meeting, he says, "How did you hear about us?" He said to us, "I went online and I asked for the best continuing education in general dentistry, and your name came up." And he said, "Oh my God, I am so thrilled because I am exposed to the best I've seen in general dentistry." Well, the AGD has always been giving and recognizing foreigners when they come to the States. But what I realized when I became president is that what good is it if they cannot go into their own countries and are exposed to our kind of education, our brand of education? In order for that to happen, we have to make our PACE approval, which is a very stringent accreditation process, available to organizations outside of the country. For the first time last year, we offer that. We're just breaking the ice, and we're hoping that once people understand the value of being an AGD educated member, the universities and the organizations in different countries can start applying for the process so they can be looked at as a source that is reliable in teaching them the very best there is in dentistry. The AGD, first of all, the Academy of General Dentists, you're right, it's probably not the right name because it's not general, it's comprehensive. And comprehensive means that we do get involved in all facets of specialty work if we feel qualified or if we have been trained to do it. We're not advocating for people to start doing things that they don't know how to do or don't do it as well as a specialist. If you're going to be doing endodontics, you better do that root canal as well as an endodontist. Otherwise, make sure that your friend, the endodontist, is the one who does it. So we believe in collaboration because there's always somebody who knows something more than you do, and we want to make sure that the patient is the one that benefits from getting the best treatment, whether it's in the general dentist office or in the specialist office. That depends on that particular dentist education level and the procedure that they're doing. But we do believe in collaboration 100%. So it's really interesting because that is one thing that we're known for. We are the one group that demands hands-on training. You need to work next to your peers and show them that you can do what you say you know. And you do that by working in front of others, and you have to make presentations of your work that you do back in your office. So not only do you have to do it in front of them, you also have to bring cases that you have done over the years. We are very blessed with having a population of dentists that are willing to challenge themselves, to prove themselves to themselves. The patients don't even know how good they are. It is a beautiful thing. Well, without them, we cannot exist. They are really our backbone. And we do not do any kind of testing with manufacturers, but we do support and collaborate just like the ADA does with all these companies. And by the way, that's another thing. We have a very intimate relationship with the ADA because we're all serving the same population. The difference is that they have also all the specialties and we don't. We do have access of specialists to become members of the Academy as affiliate members, but the truth of the matter is 99% of our members are just general vets. Our members, our message is very simple. What the AGD has done for dentists in Canada and the US, we want it to be done for the rest of the world. We need to improve and raise the level of care so that the whole world can benefit as we do in the Western Hemisphere. It's all based on education, and if we can standardize that education and raise the level, imagine what Africa, imagine what China, imagine what India, imagine what other third world countries can do, as well as working together with the most advanced nations in the world, which is not just us. We have Europe, we have South America. There are brilliant people and developments coming from everywhere in the world. Why don't we just bring them together in education and make sure we all benefit equally?